Hello, I'm Fidel Fernando, the author of Upon a Sleepless Isle and a cricket writer mainly for ESPN Cricket Info. Probably, if I had to pick a couple of Roald Dahl ones, probably The Witches and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were two of my favorites. I also loved the Asterix comics, again for similar reasons. They were so funny and there was a sense of adventure in them, and I still can go back and read an Asterix comic book and still enjoy that. I think I went through phases of enjoying various authors, but someone who really left a big impact was probably Roald Dahl. I went through a couple of years just devouring pretty much everything that he wrote. I loved the inventiveness in his writing, demystified the world that we were living in as well through all his crazy characters and the incredible adventures that he put those characters through. Currently rereading Amitav Ghosh's Sea of Poppies. I just finished Naomi Munaweera's second book, What Lies Between Us. I guess one of the characters that really struck me when I was kind of younger and reading was Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights. Just kind of more of a force of nature than a human being. Yeah, I just thought that was a fascinatingly written and realized character. I think there are a lot of authors that I really enjoy, and I go through phases of liking certain authors. In terms of Sri Lankan authors, I really love the work of Naomi Munaweera, Shahan Karunatilaka, Shyam Selvadurai and Karl Muller as well. I think of Sri Lankan authors, those are probably my favorites. It starts very late in the night. It probably starts about 11 p.m. and then goes to about 4, 5 in the morning. When I was a child, because the war was going on, and I couldn't travel around Sri Lanka, and from a very young age, I'd always loved to travel or wanted to travel. And I'd look at the map of Sri Lanka and look at all these places that I kind of just yearned to go to. And then I spent a few years in New Zealand, and when I came back, the war was over, and Sri Lanka had opened up and become really a global tourism hotspot. And I kind of wanted to go to all those places that I'd wanted to go to for decades, and try and work them out for myself, try and work out how the history of those places has influenced the way people live their lives, and how the history has shaped each place and each province and each city that I went to. That was really the driving force behind it, and it just made sense to write a book about those experiences. I think leftovers of whatever I'd made for dinner. I love to cook, so we always have leftovers of some sort in the fridge. Other than that, maybe peanuts or yeah. Generally, I have a drink at the end of the writing session as well. I think that's part of the reason why I don't write during the day, because there's too many distractions. So in the dead of night, there's not a lot of things that can distract you. I think there's all sorts of literary festivals. I think when it's just a coming together of artistic minds and artistic ideas and exchanging artistic ideas, I think they can be really, really strong. I think there are a few literary festivals that I've attended that I've just loved every day of being there. There are others that are kind of more about maybe a literary lifestyle, which I am not so on board with. It's kind of a little bit more posturing rather than actual real substance to it, real artistic or creative substance to it. So I think there are a huge gamut of art literary festivals. I think we need more in the world. I'd love to see a few more in Sri Lanka. The best one, in Sri Lanka, I really love the Annas in Kadalogotu festival that was held. I think the last time it was held was last year in Mount Lavinia Hotel. I think it was a fantastic one. Others that I really liked, another one I really liked was Mathrubhumi in Kerala. Upon a Sleepless Isle won the Gratien Prize for this year, which I'm really happy about. Someone said that there was a lot of orientalizing in the book, which I'm not sure that there was. And then also, there's politics and history also in the book. And for example, I'm quite scathing about colonialism, as I'm scathing about a lot of other things in the book. And in various parts of the world that hasn't gone down especially well, especially kind of when I'm looking at the British colonial period and people haven't loved it. So I'm unapologetic about some of the things that people have criticized about it, but understand that other criticisms are very valid. Upon a Sleepless Isle is a travel book about Sri Lanka. I've got it right here. And I kind of wrote about my experiences and dug in not just into what each place was like, but also the history and the politics of each region and how that place came to be the way it is now.